HBAR in bed with the Fed. What does it mean for you? Question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper, here on another Magic Money Monday. Glad everyone is here. I think it's been a few days since I have been in. I'm glad to be back, glad to be streaming. Hopefully everybody is doing well today. If you're just coming in or if you've been sitting here and you haven't smashed that like, come on, help a brother out. Smash the like, turn on the bell notifications, and make sure you follow the creators that we have coming on today. We're going to have a fun show today. Two great creators. Coming up first, you've got the Aldo Empire. Evan Aldo, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? Great to be on again. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on, bro. And little last second help jumping in when we had somebody drop. My boy Crypto Blood always coming in clutch. What's up, Blood?
Hey, I'm clutching it, baby, like a sixth gear.
That's right.
Yeah,
I love it.
You know,
now
we're driving the PDK Porsches, and I know how.
Yeah, right. We upped our game when we got into crypto. We started with Toyota, and then we moved on up.
There you go.
I'm with it. Well, hey, we're going to talk to you about some altcoins that might be able to help you move on up. So make sure you pay attention. We're going to be talking about HBAR. We're going to talk a little bit about. Hold on a second. Did I say? Okay, I did. I used HBAR. For some reason, I like said HBAR in bed with the Fed, and then when I clicked over, I thought that I said Sheba, and I was like, "Did I just screw up my own damn intro? Damn it!" But I didn't. I did it right. All right, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit about Sheba, couple other alts. Blood's got a juicy one for you that I guarantee most of you have never heard of, because when he said it to me, I said, "Huh." What?
I'm gonna go over some returns too. It's crazy.
Toss something at you, so pay attention. Let's have some fun. Let me jump into the chat real quick. First and foremost in the chat, we got Green Day Profits. Green Day Profits, good to see you, brother. Glad that you are here. Apparently, I missed him last time I was on the stream. He was first in. Sometimes when I jump into the chat, if I jump in late, it doesn't show me the first person. So welcome. Who else is in here? Aru. Glad to see you. Kenton Smith, as always, one of the DCA fam. Daddy Zach, Jose Rodriguez, Soulless Robot, Mexican Charlie Lee. That's a good name. I like that.
That's my boy.
That's your boy, the Mexican Charlie Lee. Yeah, glad that everybody's here. Let's get into it. Let me start off, check out the market, see where everything's at. Actually, I need to switch that. Boom. There we go. The global crypto market cap's at 1.17 trillion with the T dollars. That is down 0.46%. Not a surprise. Things have been pretty flat. I saw a little bit of a pump earlier today. I think it had jumped up to like 29.6, and then we kind of headed back down. We're at 29.314, so pretty flat. ETH at 1840, holding pretty steady, down 0.75%. BNB down a little bit. You guys know how it goes when ETH and Bitcoin aren't doing anything. The rest of the market's not really doing too much either. Not much movement. I mean, we can scroll down all the way. Let's see where we actually get some movement. Toncoin? What the hell is that? What is Toncoin? You know what that is?
Yeah, that's actually the coin that I'm going to be talking about today.
It is?
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
So that's a spoiler alert. We'll talk about that later.
That is not what you told me.
No, not the other one. But at the end, you say which one.
Other one. Okay. I've never even seen that. And that jumping on the scene. Man.
Telegram. No, it's been around for a while.
I like it. Well, I'm excited to take a look at that. But yeah, that's what's going on. Markets are just kind of overall flat. Let's kick it off with that. What's going on the overall markets? Evan, we obviously, we're here for altcoins, but we're going to kick it off with Bitcoin. Markets have been absolutely dry, bone dry. I want to tell everybody also, just kind of as an aside, if you're not part of the Aldo Empire, they've got a kick-ass Discord. You should definitely check them out. They're doing call-outs, trade setups, everything over there. So make sure to check them out for sure, because they got some good stuff going on. So, Evan, what do we got going on with a Bitcoin?
So let's take a look right here on my first chart that I'll kind of show you. We'll give my kind of prediction that would kind of coincide with, take it with a grain of salt. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but if history kind of repeats here, I mean, every time we've kind of made in the accumulation years like 2019, look, we had the bottom here, and then we made a higher low, that kind of area. And then back in September, going downward, really the top was in June. You had, kind of somewhat of a decline, as long as you don't count, the pandemic wasn't too bad. It was 40% down. The other thing was interesting here. This top was in July, back in the accumulation year in 2015. Part of the 4-year cycle, you made a higher low. From where we are right now, that would predict somewhat of about a 26% kind of correction. So, and then if you look here, you do have the bearish div. This has been taking time to play out. We've been, in such a neutral environment. But I do think if history kind of repeats, we do come down a bit. And the thing that's interesting here, if we zoom in a little bit, you look at the 3-day, you got some decent money flow kind of curvature. You were trying to get a trigger wave. If you guys aren't familiar in markets ever be, you get trigger waves that could potentially kind of bring you up. They don't happen too often, but there was one back here. That would have been kind of a nice jump up. I know a lot of people were talking about 35, 34K. Oops, let me move this over to give the prediction here. If we did have that jump up, yeah, even 36, 37K. I know CryptoFace was talking about that possibility. I'm thinking we're going to kind of come down, and have that kind of correction, especially when you look at pre-election years. Towards the end of pre-election years, you definitely do see a pullback in traditional markets a bit. And what I also want to show you here, if we go on to zoom in a little bit more, this market structure is generally a little bit more bearish. And we got the jump over here. Today, we got a decent jump up, and then he just rejected pretty hard off of this line of resistance at 29.6. And if you look at our 2-hour time frame right here, you are getting a trigger wave on market cipher B. If you do break down out of this this is the sideways parallel channel that we've been in for a while. If you do break down off of this, the next big place is going to be your volume area high right here, 28.7K, which I think is pretty likely. If you also zoom in here, we're about to get another trigger wave on the 3 hours. So it is a snooze fest. It's a very kind of boring market here. I mean, for the bullish case, you could be kind of forming maybe a little bit of kind of a reverse head and shoulders, maybe right here to potentially just break up back to a retest at 30K. So we've just been range bound for a while. But when I look at the last thing I'll show you here is when I look at the real macro, it makes me lean a little bit more bearish, because you see the red dot on the 2-week right here. You see with money flow coming out, curvature, money flow coming out, you just confirmed a red dot on the 2-week right there, similar to kind of that one back in August of 2019. And if you even go back down to, there's a blood diamond over here in August of 2015. Historically, August, September of these accumulation years are not good times. So if we go by that, most likely you'll see some type of correction over the next few months.
Yeah, I want to ask Blood about exactly that here in just a second. I want to see what Blood Analytics has to say about it. I will say I liked your comment on the pre-election years. A lot of times people ask, "Well, I always want to talk about politics and this, that, and the third." The politics keeper and Crusader messes with me about it, whatever. But the facts are that politics drive our economy, and our economy obviously is tightly woven with what we're talking about here, right? Especially as crypto continues to gain more and more adoption, and these massive companies are coming in and corporations. I think we're going to. Somebody asked me on a live stream the other day, or on a TikTok live, and they said, do you think that this run is going to be different because do you think this is going to be a different type of bull run because of institutional adoption? And I thought about it for a second before I responded. I kind of knew my gut instinct, but I thought about it for a second, and my response was yes. And the reason that I think when I say different, I'm not going to probably say what you think I'm going to say. I'm not going to say, yeah, we're going to the moon, baby, because of institutional adoption. I think what we need to realize is that the big players, when they come to play, they play hardball, bro. You get on the field, you step onto the field with a major league pitcher, and he starts throwing balls at you. Good luck hitting the ball. And these big institutional players are ready to play the game, and they have massive amounts of capital to play the game. And so they will set us up, the retail investors, to feel good about things. They have the money to throw into the marketing to make you feel one time. I mean, it is a feelings game, whether you want it to be or not. A lot of people trade on feelings, right? Or a lot of people invest on feelings. And so I think we need to be aware that while we could have a massive, massive run, it's an election year. We got the halvening happening. I mean, it is a setup for success. I love it. I'm all about it. But I do think that people need to be aware that these institutional players are here to really play. And who do they want to play? They want to play you, and they want to play each other. And when you got the big time players on the field, you better have your game face on.
Yeah, it's not about. Yeah, I think a lot of us think that next year will be a great year for crypto. I do as well. However, at what basis do we start that rally? is the question,
Mhm.
right? We can have 100% move up in Bitcoin and maybe a 2x, 3x, not 2x, 3x, 4x in the altcoins, but at what price? Are we rallying from $10,000 Bitcoin? Is that the start? It's
Hope not.
very well could be, but it very well could be.
I know.
So timing is everything in trading, and so that's what people have to understand. I
Yeah.
just want to show my screen really quickly. This
for sure.
pretty much illustrates what's going on. Lowest volatility for Ethereum in 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is insane. I bought my first Bitcoin 10 years ago. Ethereum,
Must
I don't
be
know.
nice.
I don't know why they're saying 10 years because Ethereum
Because ETH hasn't been around
hasn't been around 10 years. But I know Bitcoin has, and I think the statistic on Bitcoin was like 6-year low.
Yeah. And what do you think the reason for that is, Blood? Do you think it is the institutional adoption and they're coming in and basically setting up for the plays that they have in mind, or why do you think that we would have such low volatility? Because it's maturing, the asset class is maturing. Like, what are your thoughts?
No, I think it's just basic market structure. There are no buyers and there are no sellers. You know,
people are saying, I love crypto and I'm waiting for it. And the other people are saying, well, I'm not buying right now because
all the people that wanted to be in are already in. All the people that wanted to sell already sold. So we're in an equilibrium point right now, which will, of course, not stay that way. We won't stay in this market like low.
Right.
And the longer we stay in this very low volatility environment, the more violent the move is going to be either way. I'm with Evan. I think we head lower. I'm still holding to my conviction. And then the reason is because it's more fundamental. I'm not even looking at technicals. It's just a fundamental reason. What to the upside, what news could come out, Keeper, that will make us go boom, just, I don't like, there's more risk for news coming out to make us go lower than news coming out to make us go higher.
Yeah, and I think macroeconomically, it's why it's the whole and I agree with you. It's the whole reason that I've been saying prepare for some pain. Now, how much pain? I haven't been calling that number because I don't feel comfortable. I don't trade enough. I don't look technical enough to be able to share that. But I've been talking about for a while. Prepare for some pain, and I think it is. If you don't look around the world and see that stuff is messed up, right?
Bro,
if you don't see that, you blind, or you're not, or you're just choosing to look away.
Mentioned earlier politics. You like to dive into that. Me too, bro.
Yeah.
And more than ever today, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be talking about politics. If this is not one of those taboo subjects we need to have tucked away somewhere because it's getting out of control. What's going on here in America? Whether you're left or right, you got to see what's going on. It's just Banana Republic style shit that's going on.
Blood,
right?
You're going to love the TikTok I just did. I literally just put out a TikTok maybe an hour ago or something. And I said, it's really interesting. We got red and blue. We got what? Like the Bloods and Crips, right?
And ultimately, for years.
These are educated. These are well-educated, well-paid gangbangers. That is literally what they are, right?
That's what they are.
They are down to die for their set.
That's
and no matter what the basic, and I even said in the thing, I said when the shot caller tells their set what's going on, they're playing ball that way, right?
Yeah,
and it's literally what's happening, dude. It's like I heard it. I heard. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I heard an interview the other day where the guy from I think he was from Minnesota. There was a Democratic senator from Minnesota that talked about one of the federal judges and compared him to a house, you know what, from Django Unchained, right?
Wow.
All right. So he said that, right? So a bunch of Republicans said, hey, I want to bring this to the table. And they brought basically like an amendment that said, hey, these people speaking like this will be held accountable. Do you know that the Democrats voted against them being able to be held accountable when they're the ones that are saying, you know what, Biden's famous quote, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. Right?
Bro, the double standard is so horrible now.
Yeah.
I just don't like, but no one's upset.
I know.
That's what's scary. Nobody's upset, Keeper, except me. I guess, and you. But it does play all into it. And I think we just to circle it all back, we are heading into the presidential election year next year, it's going to be it's going to be so horrible, potentially civil unrest. Okay.
Yep.
You can't tell me that's going to be good for any risk on asset. It's just not, guys. I'm sorry.
No.
So you just got to be kind of prepared for the worst.
Well, what do you think? What do you think, though, Evan? Let me ask you this. Blood and I kind of been bantering back and forth on this. What do you think?
Yeah.
So historically, in an election year, and Blood knows this obviously too, stocks, bonds, yields have been up. I mean, going because they want the economy to look strong. Like no matter who's at the table, they want to say, "Hey, we got a strong economy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." They're all bringing these things to the table. Blah, blah, blah. They're speaking all this BS that they're trying to jam down your throat, and the markets usually do well, but we also have a potential for a race that might get decided within like criminal courts. Who freaking knows? We might have to vote for somebody else because somebody's getting locked up. Who freaking knows? How do you think that's going to affect, just like Blood was saying, do you think that we're still going to see the massive run that we should see as per normal? Or do you think that we could actually see something different this year?
So that's the main argument, I guess, where you would say the 4-year cycle kind of breaks. Until proven otherwise, I think we're going to stay within that 4-year cycle. And if you look at what will probably happen with interest rates, it's kind of favored, or kind of what I think will happen is we may see one more rate hike, or we're going to see a pause for a while. You're probably not going to see that pivot until at least like March, maybe May of next year. After you see that pivot, I think you're going to see a little bit of quantitative easing. And you're going to see what we've always seen with Bitcoin. And let me just show you my macro chart, like what I was showing you before here. So this is kind of the halvening is that this is just an estimate. I mean, the halvening is around March, April 2024, around the place where you may see that pivot. Now, the reason I think we may have like a post-halvening kind of correction is because after you see the pivot, you typically do see the markets have a correction, bottom out, at least traditional markets. But after that, I think we've dug the hole too deep where you just got to start quantitative easing unless you really want to go into a terrible recession. And, with all the money printed already, I mean, if we factor in inflation and, buying power, this 15K was really that 10K in terms of buying power. So, and you come down to that point, I think we're going to keep that general 4-year cycle, and we're just going to keep falling, keep going into that, where you kind of stay in that general thing. So I think you'll do well, with Bitcoin. I think ultimately I think it's going to be like it was last time. I mean, if we zoom out a little bit here, I mean, look at what happened in 2020 here. I mean, you had your black swan right here. That was in March, that same kind of area. And then all that quantitative easing brought you up quite a bit. I mean, also, I'm one of the people that would argue that we could have almost got up to 100K or close to it if you didn't have Elon posting every single day about a meme coin about Doge and all of that nonsense that went on. I think we could have had more pure market and Bitcoin going higher there if that didn't happen. And even let's look at more history here. I mean, this was 2015. That was the accumulation year. You came up. This was a little bit different. I mean, you did have a drop down in the beginning of 2016 and then kind of straight up. So with all that money printed, with all that, everything that's happening now. And the other thing too, is nobody wants to sacrifice. If we looked at, what Ronald Reagan did in the early 80s when inflation was really high, he let the economy kind of go into a recession to sacrifice, and he had enough time for recovery to, win re-election and have it recover. So it doesn't seem like Biden wants to do that at all. And it seems like we're just going to go into this election with guns blazing, money printing and higher inflation.
It's not even, he doesn't, but what president would? Even if Trump was in office, he's not going to say, let's go into a recession.
Nobody wants it.
Well, Reagan kind of did let it in the early, he let that sacrifice happen early in the 80s.
It might be the best thing to happen. I don't know.
Modern day, in the last 20 years, we have not seen a president. And the reason is because the debt. We've never had this type of debt. So you have to perpetually keep the debt cycle going, issue more debt to keep the whole Ponzi scheme going.
Yeah.
So you'll never get that this time. And you'll never get a Federal Reserve chair like we have with Volcker. You'll never see that happen again because we're toward the end of the game.
You want to know, and we'll move on after this, but you want to know a really interesting idea that I heard somebody talking about? They were talking about how if the Fed were theoretically, and this was an attorney talking about this, if the Fed were theoretically to flip the switch and tomorrow it's a CBDC, that theoretically every single person that had any sort of debt, because when you enter into a debt contract, you're entering into, hey, this structure is to be paid back this way in USD or whatever, right? Whatever the debt that you signed up for was. I didn't enter into no contract on my house to pay you back in CBDC. So because it's a totally different type of money, right? So he was suggesting that you would have a very solid standing. Now, I know the government would never let you freaking win this. Like they would kill you before they'd let you win this. But he said you would have a solid structural standing against the federal government because they are changing the contract on, if they took away fiat, they would have to literally, say, hey, to heck with fiat, we don't have any more. Boom, CBDC. Now you have a totally new type of money. That was not the agreement that you entered into when you got into the mortgage on your house. And he said you would have a fundamental standing in court to say, this was not the contract that I signed, therefore I am debt free.
No, we have a CBDC right now, though, Keeper.
Well, what do you mean?
CBDCs are already here.
Well, they're here, but
USDCs, even under Fed.
But that's not a CBDC. That's not a central bank digital currency.
Yes,
it's
it is.
It's a private company.
No, come on, man. They will use.
I know they're all in bed, but it's not Fed controlled. Yeah. I got.
Come on, man.
They can't regulate. They can't prevent you from buying something you don't want to buy. You know what I mean? They can't make. It's not to the full extent of the fears of CBDCs. Yes, they have it, but it's not regulated enough where they could really,
I mean, they can stop your wallet from moving coins on the Ethereum.
Oh, network. Yeah, for sure.
Any
they can
USDC
do it on Tether
or
USDC.
They can stop.
The new Amazon.
I don't know, man. They may not need to go that far to say where you can't. Yeah, but they can stop you from. They can blacklist your wallet.
Just make it so that you just can't. Good luck living. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can't move.
Good luck. Have a good day. Yeah, so it's really interesting. This is why we pay attention to politics, ladies and gentlemen. I know we got in a little bit in the weeds.
More than ever, you have to.
There's so much just distraction going on that we have. They'll distract us with Hollywood. They'll distract us with the Titanic. They'll distract us with anything they can to keep your eyes off the prize, because that is not dangerous for them. If we're arguing about black, white, gay, straight, old, young, Hollywood, not whatever, if we're arguing about that, we're not focusing on the fact that our freaking economy is crumbling. And that's what's dangerous if enough people get together and say, hey, so we're not playing ball like this anymore.
Can you pull up Joshua Adonijah? Sorry if I'm butchering your name. He made a comment at 1518.
Yeah, hold on a second.
You see that 1518. I just want to
pull it up too. Right
I would love to hear what Evan has to say about this as well. He said, I believe electoral volatility is bearish for Bitcoin. Civil instability will cause a run on the US dollar. I just don't see how we are not bullish as demand.
Hold on a second. So I believe electoral volatility is bullish for Bitcoin. Civil instability will cause a run on the US dollar. I just don't see how we're not bullish as demand for Bitcoin is up.
What do you think about that?
So
I disagree with him, but initially,
I think that ultimately, so in terms of civil unrest, I don't think you're going to see that until after we have an outcome with the election. The way I would look at the election is this is probably going to be really close. Like the last two elections, they were pretty close. We're very divided. If this is a very close election and Trump loses the popular vote by millions of votes and gets by close in the electoral college, you're going to see a lot of civil unrest. Now, a lot of civil unrest in an area where there's a lot of quantitative easing, I think that would just cause a ton of volatility, but ultimately it wouldn't screw up the 4-year cycle and it wouldn't make Bitcoin crash more than, 30, 40% or something without a, strong kind of recovery. That would be my kind of thing. You know what I mean? We'll probably see a lot of volatility, a lot of, craziness there, but I don't think it's going to mess up the 4-year cycle. And if there is a lot of political instability, it's bad for the dollar. We already know the dollar is in trouble. It's a matter of, when, not if. So you just got to have a strong stomach and fight through that volatility. And I mean, you could prepare for this.
It's I would say, question.
I think people are too weak. I think people are too weak, and I think people are too set in their ways and ultimately don't want to be inconvenienced. So I think the majority of people, if you told everyone in the United States, hey, we're flipping over to Bitcoin, screw the government, this, that, and the third, I still think it would be like COVID. You would be freaking divided where like half the people, oh no, the government's got our best interest in heart.
No, they'll just make Bitcoin illegal.
Right. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, that they're going to structure it any way they possibly can to fight back against an idea like that. I don't know.
If you get caught with a Bitcoin wallet, it'd be like being caught with an 8 ball of crack.
Yeah, I think that.
Yo, what you in for, man? I had 0.2 Bitcoin. You know
I had
what I'm saying?
0.2 Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think too, like I think it depends, how much you want to prepare, how paranoid you want to be. I mean, to really prevent against these kind of real bad scenarios, which they may happen, you got to leave, to be honest. You got to go somewhere that's more Bitcoin friendly, El Salvador or some other place. I mean, that's the only way you're really going to escape any of this, at least for now. You got to go somewhere that doesn't have the resources to go after you.
I'm
Well,
gonna say this about his, if I may, Keeper.
Yeah.
What the guy posed that great question. I'm gonna say this in a financial, or not financial, but political instability environment. Typically we've seen risk on assets sell off. So I have to put
people are
Bitcoin
scared.
and crypto in the riskiest of risk. Like they are
People are
the
scared.
top tier risk on asset
People are
that's
scared.
out there.
Yeah,
So they're
people
gonna
are scared.
sell.
Yeah.
They're gonna sell. They're gonna sell stocks.
disagree.
They're gonna sell crypto. Well, I mean, after the fact, yes, I can see it come back for sure. As people figure out, okay, this is going on, I'm ready to put, move my money into crypto.
But the person that said that is probably going to be the person that does so well, because they're going to be the person like I was that bought the COVID dip, right? The instability, they buy the political instability, sit on it, and then catch the run on the way back up. So, whether it plays out that way or not, I think all of it's an opportunity for us because we know Bitcoin's not going anywhere. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's shift into some alts. I do have a hard out in about 20 minutes. I'm just kind of letting you guys, kind of giving everybody a heads up. Let's shift into alts a little bit here. I was going to pull up an article. Actually, let me just pull it up and just touch on it real quick. Sheba has made a move in this last, I think, effectively week. It was Pepe as well. But basically, let me just scroll back up to the top here. My bad. So it says meme coins, Pepe and Shib rally double digits on the week. So everybody, a lot of people, know that I was the Sheba hater of 2020, 2021, 2022. But it said it was Sheba was trading mostly flat. However, the popular meme coin spiked 15% in the last week. It's been enjoying a bullish movement since the start of the month when developers announced plans to tie self-sovereign identity to all Shib platform applications. The move aims to help Shib to leave its meme coin status, cementing a place among the major DeFi players. Let me just ask both of you, yes or no. Can Sheba actually cement itself as a big-time DeFi player, or is it going to continue to be a high-cap meme coin?
The simple answer is no, but then again, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, that's why I say yes, because crazier things have happened. And so I don't see why it can't happen. I mean, I would have never thought Dogecoin would almost touch a dollar.
Yeah, 76 cents.
I mean, it was 76 something. So it's just like, who knows what's going to happen. No one could have predicted Elon was going to jump on the Doge train. So, it's possible for sure.
Well, Evan,
I don't even have any sheep, and I'm telling you it's possible.
No, neither do I. And I actually, to the day, called the top of Sheba in the run. Now, I always tell people it was lucky, but I did. I've got a TikTok video calling it on the day. Hey, Evan, why don't you show me what's going on with Sheba?
So what I'm seeing here is on the macro here, as you can see, this line, this area we've been hitting off of. We hit off here in August of 22. That was that top. Hit off of the same kind of area, January 23. That was that top. Trend reversal sign right there as well. Seeing a trend reversal sign, we're getting close to that area again. It's at 4.012, which if we do get that high from approximately where we are right now, another 20% is absolutely possible here. On the weekly, you've got some good money flow curvature, but when this VWAP comes down and we get kind of a trigger wave to the downside, I do think a lot of the fun could be kind of over here. It's just been such a bearish environment. Like, sure, we could pump up a bit more, come up to the green a little bit in the next couple weeks or something. I'm seeing maybe beginning of September to come up to kind of that point with it. But other than that, I mean, we are getting pretty overheated. I'm not seeing exactly what I want to see to kind of call a top here, because money flow still looks like it could come up a little bit more here on the kind of the daily. We may need one more kind of momentum wave, maybe see something like that kind of potentially happen as you get one more kind of lower momentum wave, money flow comes up a little bit more here. That's what I would kind of predict. I know a lot of people were going along on this like a couple weeks ago, and that was a pretty good play. And I would say to those people, this is a good place to probably lock in some profits at your stop loss to entry point, and then take more profits at the next place up here. Are some big Sheba fanboys that think this could like break out of this area right here, and we could this is like crazy predictions. This would have to be a whole like meme coin run again, but something like this, somebody, there are some people, because the thing is, if you break above kind of this area right here at 4 zeros 12, there's not much until you get to 4 zeros 2. So if you do have a crazy meme coin run, you could double. I don't think that's going to happen, for the record. I do not think that's going to happen.
That'd be like a $16 billion move or something.
It would be a 6 billion. Yeah, $6 billion.
Yeah,
$6 billion move. I do not think that's going to happen. But yeah, I think ultimately, there are some smart people I've been talking to that are long on this, though. I think a lot of them have taken profits, locked in profits.
Are they long because of the information that I just talked about in the article, or they're just long on Sheba long term?
On the charts, a few people I've talked to over the past few weeks were long. I believe they have locked in profits because we have hit resistance points. I mean, usually the most like kind of leverage traders take off a little bit, stop loss to entry point, take off a little bit more as it comes up. So
somebody said TA on Sheba, this has got to be a joke. Well, let me just tell you, Crusader, just as an aside, I want to tell you guys this. Crusader's been doing really well, talking about meme coins. Crusader's been doing really well leverage trading Dogecoin, and it mimics a lot of what's happening with Bitcoin. But now, again, this is risky. I'm not suggesting anyone do this, whatever the case may be. I'm just telling a story here. He's been doing really well with shorting and longing Dogecoin on leverage, because the reality is it does mimic a lot of what happens because the market cap's so high with what happens with Bitcoin. So it's decently predictable, but when the moves happen, because it's so much lower than Bitcoin, and then slap leverage onto it, you can make some money, right? Obviously not financial advice. I'm not telling you go out and start, leverage trading Sheba or Doge or whatever. I'm just throwing out there that you can still do TA on just about freaking anything, at least from what I understand. The only thing that I have been told from people that trade all the time, and you guys can verify this or tell me I'm right or wrong, but the only thing that I understand that really you might as well throw it out the window on is all of this stuff that we're seeing fly through DEX tools on these brand new projects where you're just freaking rolling dice anyway. They're not following a market structure. It's just whether they had enough marketing behind it or not. But the big dogs are actually tradable, right?
You need stuff with history. Like it has to be around for, ideally 6 months to a year to do some good TA on it. Sure, you could do TA on something that's been around a month or two.
On a minute chart, you can do some TA.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can do crypto face style, go on the 1 minute chart.
The 15 second. We were doing some stuff with the 15 second.
15 second trading. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, based on you find it, because the market's been so freaking flat, we were finding some scalp trades with the 15 second, believe it or not. That actually did work pretty well.
I think that I would get my ass handed to me unless I was sitting there with you in crypto phase telling me exactly what to do. That's what definitely would happen. I'd be like, damn it, this was a bad idea. So Blood, I like hearing about new projects, bro. Talk to me. We like the low cap stuff. If we can snag them, talk to me. Either, I'll tell you what, just because I know timing is going to be short and we're probably not going to get through everything we're going to talk about. Talk to me about which one of the two that you really wanted to speak on that you had kind of suggested.
Well, I initially, you asked me that was there a coin I was, want the audience to know about, and I said, play token off the xcad network. I mean, it's just more so not even.
What is it?
So xcad is like a DApp where you can essentially make money watching YouTube videos.
What?
Yeah. So you have to buy these NFTs called nerd NFTs, and once you buy the NFT, you activate it and you get 5 plays a day. And depending on what level NFT you purchase, determines how much you get per view. So like if you I bought a
it's watch to earn. I mean,
watch to earn, bro. Watch to earn. And it's crazy, man. I bought what was it? A legend, not a legendary, right? But a rare NFT, okay? $2,600 roughly. And I've made like about $760 so far in 2.5 weeks. So the break even at this point with the current price of play is at 7 cents. You're talking about roughly a month and a half break even on every NFT that you purchase. and you watch videos.
But how much time are you investing? So give me an example. You said you spent $2,600 or $2,500, whatever. You got 700 or 800 back at the current price structure. How much time are you on YouTube?
The way I do it, I'm not on there much.
Well, that's fine. But do you know how much time is there?
I do it literally remotely from a computer.
Just put it down,
and then I play it. Because you can do a plug-in on your browser,
right?
As well, you don't have.
But I guess what I'm asking you is it recording the amount of time and that like the more time, or is it just hey, you get 5 plays?
You have to watch 5 full videos
of a certain amount of time.
NFT, yeah. So every NFT has a different genre, meaning like on YouTube you have different genre of videos. Mine is an educational NFT, so. If I watch educational videos, and they give you a list, they break down, like if you click educational, it'll show you all the educational channels.
Are they in bed with YouTube?
No, I don't know how they're making.
And it's not their videos that they're
you're watching.
Is it have to do with ad revenue? Is that?
I have no clue how
there's something going on in the background there, because it's a great idea where. It's got. You're probably right, Evan.
So every 5.
It's probably like the Brave. Have you heard of the Brave browser? They used to do that, where you would just start browsing and viewing ads. You'd earn basic attention token.
Something similar, but every 5 videos you watch, you have to repair your NFT. So you do pay like $15 in play tokens to repair.
Oh,
but it's a
dude. The creativity in this space, the creativity in this space sometimes blows me away.
Green Day says 80% watch to get credit. Yeah, that's true.
Who thought of this? It's great, creative, man. Right? It's super creative. So, but does it look? Did you look at this from a TA standpoint, or you just like the project?
Fundamentally, fundamentally. TA, yeah. Cool. So I got 2 NFTs. So literally making like almost $100 a day watching videos.
Interesting. I might have to check that out. But they're not cheap. I mean, I got to spend an ETH and a half or whatever on one.
Yeah. Right? And then you can go for I think legendary is like 7,800. But I'm waiting to get my money back first.
Why am I going to spend 3 or 4 ETH on something?
Because you make more per video.
And I would have to do the math.
And the stamina. Make sure the math is a whole bunch. Yeah, I don't want to go through it today.
I got to set up an AI bot to watch the videos for me.
Hey, listen, do your thing, bro. That's definitely smart.
Very good point.
So
that's my play. Play is my play.
Play is play. That's an interesting one. I had not heard of that at all. So Evan, let me ask you. I know another fan favorite has been HBAR. HBAR. So let me pull the article real quick, because I started the stream off by throwing this out there. HBAR surges 16% as Fed now adds Hedera project drop to service provider showcase. I'm going to hit a couple highlights here. Drop is a micropayments platform built on Hedera Hashgraph. It's been added to the Fed now showcase. It lets merchants accept payments for as little as a penny, making micropayments more accessible and practical. Moreover, as pointed out by Fed now, users' credentials are not shared with the merchants using Drop makes it possible for digital merchants to offer goods and services at a granular level that hasn't been affordable because of the cost of credit card transaction fees. So,
Drop is an XRP, right? XRP with the Fed, not right? This is not.
We're pivoting here. Okay,
it's HBAR. Yeah, it's not XRP. Okay, yeah.
A lot of people, I do want to point this out. A lot of people don't really understand Fed now. Like they think it's, as said here, like consumer facing. It's not. It's for banks and financial institutions to build services and products on top of it. So keep that in mind.
I'm a huge fan of HBAR.
Why? So Evan, you've been looking at HBAR. Is this going to be fundamentally good, or are we signing our own death warrant here because they're getting in bed with the Fed, as I said at the start of the show?
Yeah, I from a fundamental standpoint, it's kind of the same way I'm looking at like PayPal right now. It's like it's enticing. It's down 80%, but it's like, do I want to invest like into that thing? What could happen with the CBD side? From a chart standpoint, it has been looking. Let's get HBAR up here. It's like, it has been looking a lot better and a lot of other things. The first thing I'll show you here is on the monthly, and what we can look at on the monthly is this does not happen very often. This confirms in 17 days. This is a monthly bullish div. These momentum waves are making a higher high while price is making a lower low. That's a very, very rare bullish sign, And what we could also look at here is, that this point we've, kind of just kept bouncing off of here. If I, put a line, that's just a huge point. It's also that fib level. So it does look like there's a decent shot this could have bottomed out here. Some good money flow, curvature. And then if we go down to some of these lower time frames, nothing looks too bad to me. The thing here, especially on the daily, what I think may happen is look at this money flow. Looks like money flow wants to come up a little bit higher here, maybe similar to the price movement actually of what it'd be funny what Sheba actually may do. Come up a bit more potentially here, break through that level over the next few weeks, come up maybe another 12% up to this potential area. It could take a little bit of time though. This looks pretty good on the macro. Now, how would I invest in this? I would invest in this with a lot of other altcoins, and I would probably DCA into this starting in 17 days when this bull dip confirms from September, and I would probably go into pre-halvening. So I would, if I want to invest, just let's say $8,000, I'd probably put in $1,000 every month starting in September, something like that. Or if I wanted to invest $800, $100 every month starting in September, and I think this has a good shot for the next bull run. A very, very good shot actually, because if we could get close to all-time highs, that's 700%. HBAR's got a good shot here.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that I hear when I hear that they're doing stuff with the Fed, just because of my stance on a lot of what's happening, it makes me feel a little whatever.
Hold on.
No.
Whatever. You're XRP fan.
I've been very open and transparent about the fact when I bought XRP, I was blind to the fact of what was going on. I just bought it as an opportunity. Okay,
but
let's be clear.
It's not HBAR specifically, right? Yeah,
it's just it's built on top of. Yeah. It's a DApp built on top of it. So, okay. Hey, crypto fam, we got 46 people in here. Word on the street is we got a lot less likes than that. If you could hook us up, listen, Bloodalytics has got 1 month free, so make sure to check that out. If you are tired of just trying to figure out this trading thing and you keep getting your butt handed to you, check out Bloodalytics. That's got quant trading for you.
Bloodalytics.com.
Yeah, so Bloodalytics.com. Definitely go check that out. That first month is free, and then Evan has got the Aldo Empire. Their Discord is rocking and rolling, making lots of good calls and whatnot. He's been trading for a while and has done really well. So make sure to check both of them out. Also follow them here on YouTube. Make sure to turn on the bell notifications so you know when we are all streaming. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let me just throw this out. Last thing before we go, because I've got like 1 or 2 minutes left. Both of you, real quick. Gun to your head. Oh boy, I might be in trouble for saying that. Most returns wins the standoff. What project are you picking on this next run?
I would say best bang for your buck. If I wanted to pick like an altcoin, you got a good shot with like Chainlink or Cosmos or AVAX. Out of those three, AVAX.
I like Chainlink because it can make sense. I like what it does, but their tokenomics suck. So
I'm gonna go with Bitcoin Cash.
Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, Bitcoin Cash, because seriously, because they have been blessed by Wall Street. EDX, they're one of the 4 coins that'll be on EDX platform. That's on EDX platform. So in the next bull run with institutional money, you're talking about trillions of dollars going into those 4 coins. It's the most undervalued of those 4 coins. Litecoin as well, but yeah.
What's Bitcoin Cash at right now?
220 something or something like that.
Okay, interesting.
But its ratio to Bitcoin. See, when Bitcoin Cash dropped out, when it came out years ago, I remember it was much lower or smaller. What do you have difference or delta between the price of Bitcoin? I forgot what the ratio was, but it's way out of whack. So
interesting.
Yeah, I think it has some.
And I'm going to give the cop-out answer that it's going to be something wild that none of us sees coming out from left field. As we know, it probably actually will be. It'll be some stupid project that probably, just gets a bunch of hype and does something ridiculous like Pepe or something wild like that to give some wild. People like the crypto casino. You know what I'm saying? They like to step up to the table, roll the dice. That's not going to change this next run. I've been talking about a utilitarian run, but folks, pay attention because the meme coins are still going to be here. People are always going to want to try to play their hand in the crypto space. So crypto fam, we love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Just remember, question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon.
Thanks.
See ya.